So Surgeon Simulator is a 2013 PC game with the intent of being an annoying bitch. The game was released originally with one simple purpose. There's a guy on a table, you do a heart transplant on him, and that's it. The game was very easy to understand, it was nice, but it was so difficult, that's what made it fun. It wasn't super difficult in the idea that you literally couldn't complete the game.
Quit the game.
It was difficult just with controls and just how to get it through as quick as possible. And as the game took Kanye West's advice and it evolved, it grew and grew and became magnificent. Now, I love Surgeon Simulator 1 and it's truly one of my favorite games ever, but recently a sequel has come out to it that has underwhelmed me, and that is under-exaggeration. So let's discuss this. Surgeon Simulator 1. In Surgeon Simulator 1, the setting of the game is mysterious and empty. It is no one in the room except you and the patient. There is no dialogue, there is no nothing. It is an up-close and personal experience. This entire experience is purely made better by the way you're looking on top of the patient with only your hand there. And if it wasn't for the notepad you see at the beginning of the game, you wouldn't even know your own name. The setting is very mysterious and it doesn't lend much. It really buys by the first rule of storytelling, which is show and don't tell. Unlike 90% of movies these days, which act as if they're trying to read a book to a bunch of infants kids. In the game's tutorial, it is very well set out. It's an operation-style board game that the doctor has to complete in order to actually perform. Mate, I played Among Us. I can basically be an astronaut. In the main menu screen where you get to just select what you actually have, you see your desk in front of you with a whole bunch of little trinkets on it that symbolizes what a doctor in real life would have. There's a lot of little jokes about, divorce. Now bear in mind, this game isn't an entirely serious game. Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But the game is really well set out, and it really honors this hot bare-hand surgery with the living patient in front of you, and with the absurd nature, it still balances itself out by the fact that some rules in the game are the same as real life. The absurd nature of this clandestine action is aided by the accuracy of the setting. I want to point out I just put clandestine in the script because it's just a big word, makes me sound smarter. Even in the 2016 VR remake of Surgeon Simulator, where moving around is actually an option, the environment still feels cold. The bright, colourful operation table is juxtaposed with the dimly lit x-rays covering the room. The greenish-grey tiles surrounding you just give you this really uneasy feeling. You are really not authorized for this surgery, and the game honors that with the setting. If you actually look around in the 2016 VR remake, you can see that there's dog x-rays on the wall. Now, I did actually play the VR remake last year, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I must say, it really does lend itself to the original style of the game. I really love it. Even if Liam West was texting Owen Powell as I played it, but that's beside the point.
Hey Nick, what do you want to say to Owen?
Blessings of Stendarr upon ye.
Now, the controls throughout the entire game are meant to be difficult and absolutely unfair in a lot of cases. This is on purpose to, make the game fun. And also, probably my favourite thing about the game is the soundtrack. Every different surgery has its own soundtrack, either if it's building on the last one, or it's a completely new one entirely. The OST just beats down like a SoundCloud rapper's new synthwave track he wants everyone to listen to. The heart rate monitor is beating in the background, keeping the tempo, yet reminding you that the room of the game is alive. It reminds you that in this weird, unbelievable, engrossing atmosphere, that there is a living person in front of you that you're working on. I love it, honestly, mate. I could just be vibing to the Surgeon Sim theme track. You know, me standing in the back of the bus, edgy, hoodie on, and I'd just be headphones in, I'm just listening to the Surgeon Simulator music. Now, I actually asked on Discord a whole bunch of the people on my Nemo server what their favourite sequel to a game was. You know, like good sequels, not bad sequels. And I have to say, it's actually really interesting what some of your choices were. I genuinely do agree with a lot of them. I'm assuming that's Resident Evil 2. Mate, I respect that. Portal 2, the best sequel ever made. Portal 2 was great because it built off the previous game, and the ending of Portal 2 is just one of those amazing and great cinematic things you could see. Well, it seems some of you have to go for a COVID test because you got absolutely no taste. So yeah, how hard can it be? Well... I mean, straight from the get-go, watching the trailer, it just looks like it has nothing to do with the original game. Bro, I realized I had this sitting next to me the whole time. I could have worn this, man. That would have been good. Man, I'm a surgery. Now, the new game is just painful on a lot of levels. First off, it's filled with dialogue, and a lot of it.
Check the diagnostic scanner. To perform a successful transplant, the sick organs must come out. The rest of the organs are optional.
Like, it's almost like they had to explain everything. Like, hey, here is a desk. It is made of wood. Did you know you can put things on the desk to prop things up? Now, as someone who's made heaps of games before and sequels to them, I think I know a thing or two about...
Shut up. How about we hear from a real game developer? When making a sequel, you want to take a game that people like and extend it, evolve it, so that your fans can find new ways to love their game, without creating something completely different. Take, for example, Wii Sports Resort. Wii Sports was a legendary game, but had overwhelming flaws, one being its limit on game modes. Wii Sport Resort, while not as successful, did an amazing job as a sequel. It kept its core mechanics and infamous art style, but introduced many new and innovative game modes for single-player fun and fun with friends. What I'm trying to say is, you know what your fans like if they're supporting your series. Try to take what you have made and find how to make your fans love it in new ways. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk, and I will visually perceive you within the following content. You know, because it's the thing.
Wow, what a really intellectual monologue given by someone who's starting up a channel very soon with content similar to this. Please go subscribe to it. Anyway, as I was saying, there is absolutely no mystery in this game. There's no claustrophobia like the first one. You are in way too much control. And while I'm recording, my neighbors think, hey, let's mow a lawn. And remember what I said about the soundtrack of the first one being really nice? Well, I played the soundtrack before. Let's listen to the new soundtrack. Like, honestly, it does sound like it was made on My Singing Monsters. Like, the music loses all of the tension that the first soundtrack actually provided. It just basically sounds like a lo-fi beat to relax and surgery to. It is just garbage. Although, some people found interest in it. In the first game, it is outlandish, it is stupid, but at some level, it is grounded in reality. You can totally see this throughout the entire game, where you have the heart rate of the patient, the blood level of the patient. You know that he can die, and if he's too low on blood, you ain't refilling him. Well, the new game's like, no, do you want a massive syringe full of blood? Yes! It is incredibly stupid. In the new game, you have this weird, like, ball thing that is shooting the patient with cosmic rays that allow you to be able to rip his leg off and attach it by putting it back on. Part of the joke of the first game is the idea that you just chuck in the new organ into his body and the surgery's complete, you don't reattach it. Now notice that, when you throw the thing in, it doesn't reattach, it's just lying there like a bad dog. In the new game, you can just attach something on by roughly rubbing it together. Like, legit, you can just attach something quicker than a Redditor will comment floor gang on a photo of a homeless man. Also, the cartoony style has been completely ramped up in the new game. A lot of the organs just are, like, pink. What is that color? That's not an organ! Kids, this is what happens when you have too much fairy floss. I was recently watching Markiplier's playthrough of the new game, and he genuinely said, I kid you not, the controls are easier.
So this actually feels like it controls kind of nicely.
Excuse me, Isn't that one of the big points of the first game? The free roaming element of Surgeon Simulator 2 is a really interesting idea. I would never have thought that would be the direction to take, and I don't like it at all. Like, mate, this is Surgeon Simulator, not Oblivion. It feels like anyone could just barge in the door at any time and just watch the surgery and be like, yo, surgery, lit fam, can I go? Like, literally I feel like I could let a 5-year-old play this game and they could do amazing. I mean, there are some things I could say were okay, but in the main, it's just stupid. It's unneeded. I know a lot of people do like this, and fair enough, go for it, go like what you want, but it's just not for me. Anyway, that is my review of Surgeon Simulator 2. I hope you enjoyed it, and also go subscribe to the Nova's Workshop. He will have some videos coming out soon, and I really am looking forward to watching them myself, so go subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought, do vibe to your favourite song, and I'll see you in the next one!
I'll tell you how I feel honestly.